Can you hear me now? The state is making a big change to its civil defense sirens, but will it work in an emergency?
That's just one of the stories that our media partners at Civil Beat are following. And joining us over Skype is civilbeat.com assistant editor Sarah Lynn. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning. Great to be here with you guys.
Well, so our sirens are going from radio-activated system to a cellular network. And the question is it a good idea? What did you guys find?
Well, we all know what happens during an emergency when everybody's trying to use their cell phones at once. The network kind of clogs and shuts down and nobody can get through. So that was the initial thought we had when we went into this. We wanted to see what are the backups that the state has in mind and what are they going to do in the case of an emergency. We spoke with a bunch of experts who are experts on data networks and cell networks. And the one reassuring thing that is going on here is that we're using Verizon. We're not using AT&T because, as you may or may not remember, during the Japan 2011 tsunami, AT&T was completely down for several hours and you couldn't even connect to the data network there. But the distinction here would be that we're going to be operating our sirens on Verizon's data network, which is separate from the voice network. So even when a voice network goes down fairly quickly with just a couple hundred calls, a data network is only supposed to slow down and it's not supposed to completely shut down. Now, as a backup here, though, the sirens are also going to be able to be operated via satellite. But we all know that sometimes satellite can have problems as well with weather or other sort of cloudy situations, or if it happens to be raining that day. So we just won't know until an emergency actually happens, unfortunately.
Absolutely. Just cross your fingers until then. Let's talk about Turtle Bay. And, there's this big talk about its expansion plans. But what's the impact on the traffic in the area?
Well, Turtle Bay, as we all know, has been wanting to expand for years, and they're wanting to add these 2 new hotels, 625 rooms, I think it was, 750 townhomes, and it's really going to add to traffic that we already know is kind of bad on weekends. It just crams up at Turtle Beach, and everybody trying to get to the shrimp trucks, forget it. It'll take an hour and a half or so. But what Turtle Bay is saying is that, look, traffic is already really bad. Maybe their development, they're hoping, will be a spur for positive change and for the state to start really looking at other traffic solutions up there. But for the community and for environmental groups who don't want to see the area have worse traffic, they're saying, hey, it's up to the city of Honolulu to turn down a permit or at least not let it go through. But in the end, this is probably going to just all end up back in court.
All right, Sarah, thanks a lot. A couple really good stories on Civil Beat this morning.
And there are more stories on Civil Beat, including that Great Pacific Garbage Patch and possibly being a Superfund site. So for more on those stories and the stories that we just discussed, you can go to civilbeat.com. It is 6:38. We'll be right back.